Hello, MIPA. This is your first weekly update for the 2025 season. We're going to cover the first 2 weeks because lots of things that we're saying for Miamisburg will also apply to Northmont and Hamilton coming up in week number 2. So stick around. We have lots of details for you that are site specific, as well as tending to some housekeeping things that need to happen before we go to our first show, which is this weekend in Miamisburg. Here we go, MIPA 2025. Some general notes that you need to be made aware of if you haven't received these already. MIPA education directors, that's Mike Magley and Alex Holland, have both released videos within the past week. Last week, we sent you a competition suite email from Alex, and tonight we are also including in this email a video from Mike. So check those out. Sign the waiver and pay for your badges from our resources page. If you do not take care of those before you step on the floor, you will be asked to sign them or your students will not be able to perform. So just get that out of the way. I think we're 90% of the way done. And if you need to pay for a badge, you can pay with a check at the show, you can pay with a card at the show, or you can pay with a card right now online on the resources page. Event pages are being filled in. In fact, I think all of them are up and ready with the preliminary times for the season. Those are all done with the exception of the Fifth Third Arena show, but that will be done within the next few days. Schedules are going to be updated weekly. This is kind of new. So the draft for the Mason show will be updated on a Monday or a Tuesday of every week until the day of the show, or until the week of the show, because as groups get reclassified or groups pull from a show or add to a show, we update every schedule. I'll update every schedule every week so that you're getting the most current time of your performance. And one more thing about performances, your administrators, like last year, get into contests for free. This year, we just want them to go to the spectator entrance, say, my name is John Smith, and I'm the principal of Franklin Township, and I would like to be let into the show. Not a problem. Just make sure we don't abuse that policy. Or my name is Brandon Barametti, and I'm the band director at Centerville High School, and I'm here to watch my elementary color guard perform. Great. Welcome aboard. Some other updates we want to give you that we were working on last year or in the last couple of weeks. Last year, we started working on gender inclusive restrooms, all gender restrooms, all abilities, all accessibilities. We are working with show hosts going forward like we were last year. And every show host has a different set of rules that we have to play by. So we are always trying to work on finding a restroom for anyone to use, whether they are in a wheelchair, whether they are non-binary. Um, we want access to those facilities where everyone can feel comfortable. But again, it is on the show host to make these requests possible for us to work in their facility. Board members will start assigning social media takeovers. You should follow up with your rep if you haven't received an invitation sooner or later. Obviously, there's, I think, a dozen groups that signed up. Just We'll get those out and we'll start doing takeovers. Some new rules that I want to talk about that you've maybe heard a dozen times, or maybe this is the first time seeing them. There were 2 excellent videos that we've shared through Facebook and our channels a couple weeks ago from Dale Powers at WGI. Check those out, watch those, because I'm just going to give you a very quick rundown of what they are. 4 feet is the new 6 feet. So any props that were below 6 feet before didn't have to have railing or protective barriers around the side, or 50% of them. That new rule is now at 4 feet. You cannot pick somebody up 6 feet. You can now not pick somebody up over your head or loosely or poorly above 4 feet. So if your props are 4 feet or higher, they got to have some kind of security measure on them. If your props have wheels, some of those wheels have to lock, and it's kind of 2 sides to this. You don't have to have a wheel or a lock on the wheel if you are sitting on a prop. However, you have to have your wheels locked if you're running to or walking up to and stepping onto that prop, so that the prop doesn't shake or give out or slip, and then the person that steps on it falls. So if your prop is stationary and it's not moving and no one's going on it, don't worry about it. Nobody has to have a lock on their wheels. However, the second you step up onto that prop, you're going to have a lock on it of some way, maybe some chocks on one end. And then as you push somebody, they have to be supported in a way. If it's under 4 feet, they're okay. They can be on the prop while it moves, but they have to have some kind of locking mechanism to step onto the prop. Strobe lights, you got to have those reviewed. I don't know that I've been approached by one group, but it's not a strobe light, so it's going to be okay. Our TMP team will be taking really good care of you and addressing any questions you might have about these new rules. But you can always review the WGI manuals that are provided on our website. You could read right through there. I think it's chapter or rule 6 talks about props and safety of performers. And about those new policies, those new rules, you could address them with your TMP judge as you step onto the floor. Hey, I want you to know that we measured this prop and it is 3'6", or we measured this prop, it is 6 feet tall, but we made sure that we have 50% coverage around. Would you approve that? Or we're going to do a lift at the 32-second mark of our show. Let us know how you feel. So you can talk to a TMP judge before your performance. But once the performance is over, and if you happen to get a penalty, you need to talk to the contest administrator, and only the contest administrator, about the penalty you received. You'll be able to hear, if you're in a WGI class, you'll be able to hear the penalty that you got, when it happened, and what it was, and what the amount of that penalty. So talk to the TMP judge before the show as you step on the floor. Talk to the contest administrator after the show. Some more here's some pre-contest reminders for you. The logistical schedule is final and posted for week 1. That's the Miamisburg show. Week 2 schedules will likely be posted on Sunday or Monday, early Monday. We just got to make sure that we don't have any reviews coming out of this week's shows. If any color guards or groups need to be reviewed to go to a different class. Once that's done, we'll be able to post the logistical shows for week number 2. Flow maps are posted for almost all of the shows on our website now. You should be able to know what the facility is looking at Miamisburg as well as at Butler. You should do a full run through, by the way, of your show, like starting outside the doors. Don't let Miamisburg performance at 12:17 p.m. be the first time you've ever opened your floor or walked through a door and done a 3 or 5 7-minute performance. We need you to make sure you get your spiel sheets done and provide information about your group and competition suite. Otherwise, performing their program, the Middies Performance Association is proud to present. Make sure your spiel sheets are filled out, please. And they do not have any information in them from last year, so it will be blank if you haven't done it yet. Guards, please upload your music in the competition suite just before midnight on Thursday night going into Friday. Critique, you should register by 11 a.m. on show day, as these shows do not start early. With the exception of Northmont, it starts early, but for Miamisburg, Hamilton, get your critique show day sign up done by 11 a.m. Make it earlier. Just do it right now. If you need to cancel a show, just like every show, visit the contest page and fill out that form, which notifies me that I need to take you off the schedule. And before you go to the show or before you go to sleep the night before, please check the weather. When you get to the contest, please check in right away. Get your badges, get your wristbands. Make sure you know who's going to be getting your wristbands. Make sure your students are wearing footwear at all times. Once you get all those things and from the check-in table, put your kids down over there, and then you go walk around and check out the flow, do a sound check, and then come back to your students after they've finished getting changed or putting on makeup or getting their equipment out of their bags, et cetera, et cetera. Color guards, you're in a shared warm-up areas for Miamisburg. You're in a shared warm-up area for Northmont and for Hamilton, so you will not be able to play music. Last year, we tickled and teased the thought of being able to use music quietly. Not happening. It's just no audio when you're sharing a warm-up space with another group. So as we talked about TMP, we will not enforce timing penalties this week. However, we will enforce safety, destruction to floors, disregard for blatant rules. Yes, those penalties will be enforced. When you get into the building, you should bring your large equipment, your instruments, et cetera, et cetera. You should wait at least an hour before your warm-up. If it's been sitting on your truck, get it inside an hour before you go to warm-up. The exception to this is like you are the senior guard, and you've got the elementary and juniors, and your senior guard wants to bring everything all in together right away. We will try our best to accommodate that. The show hosts will try their best to accommodate that, but make sure you're coming in timely before you've got an hour or so before you head into warm-up, and please keep your props monitored by a person at all times. That would be really cool and helps us move things through the hallways. When you get onto the floor and it's about to start, make sure you know who is starting your performance and ending it, because many of you will not be performing a full 5.5 or 3.5 minute show. Otherwise, the music will just continue playing. You could even put in the music that just stops at the 1 minute mark, or wherever you are stopping your performance, you could upload that in the competition suite. Make sure you know who can review your tapes. It should be you and your staff, or maybe not some of the staff, maybe not your treasurer who filled out the paperwork to pay your registration fee. Go into Comp Suite. Make sure the people who need access have access. Excuse me. And a friendly reminder that video recording is strictly prohibited in the gyms. If we happen to see you recording from in the corner or from up high and no one's looking at you and you're not being distracted, we probably aren't going to stop you, but we do not want you standing up on row 8 on the 50-yard line. Or if we see parents or guardians or adults doing it, we will let them know kindly that they need to stop recording and sit down. Some reminders for your post-performance: pack up your truck, reset your hallway, take all of your things from where you're kind of staged in the back hallways, get that out to the truck, get it out of the way so other groups can come in, and then return to the performance gym to watch other groups. That's so cool. We'd like to pack that gym in Miamisburg, and we have the ability to do it again the following week at Hamilton and Northmont. Check the awards times on the schedule and send your group representative when instructed, and listen to the tapes, and then get ready to go to critique and find out where the critique room is. All right, you made it through all the housekeeping that we needed to go over, all the little details. Let's talk about show site specifics. Miamisburg is a horizontal timeline. This has not changed year to year. You will come in the front left and you will exit the back left. And you can see the sound engineer is right above. You got to go up that little stairway to go see the sound engineer to do a sound check. And it is a horizontal timeline. The spectators enter on the opposite side, so you will not be mingling with a crowded hallway as you enter the gym. Week 2, Hamilton High School, is a vertical timeline. You come in the back right. The back right, you go to the vertical timeline down the 50-yard line, and then you exit to the front left. And the sound engineer is upstairs on the track on the opposite side of the entrance. And again, the ticket area, the spectator area, is not over by performance entry, so it should not be too congested in that area. That's the Saturday show of week 2. The Sunday show of week 2 is Northmont High School. You enter from the back left, go to the vertical timeline on the 50-yard line, the center line, and then cross over and you exit to the back right. And spectators are nowhere near performers, and there's very little congestion on the entrance and exit, which is very helpful at all 3 of these shows. And on this particular show, yes, up on the track, the sound engineer is up on the track on the front left. If you have any questions about what we've gone over, you can feel free to hit up our resources on the website. You've got score sheets and tab sheets and rule books, videos, tips and pointers. Go there, check them all out, and you can contact us from the website as well, get show details, and review all the schedules for upcoming shows. We hope you find this video informative. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another video, unless there's anything that's like late-breaking news or that needs to be explained a little bit more in depth next week. However, we wish you success in these first 2 weeks. Welcome back to MIPA 2025, and we will see you real soon. Thanks, everybody.